Mega powers explode.
I'm talking about the 80s. Oh, yeah.
Great Scott!
Cream of the crop. Oh, yeah.
Mega powers, yeah!
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
This podcast is brought to you by our fine supporters at Patreon. Visit patreon.com to find out how you can get bonus episodes of this show and so much more. You'll instantly unlock a huge back catalog of episodes only available on our Patreon feed. That's patreon.com/dissectingthe80s. Welcome to Dissecting the 80s. I am Trip Lano, one half of the Mega Podcasting Powers, and with me, as always, the Matt Frewer to my Dabney Coleman, the Macho Mandrew.
Andrew Lano.
I was trying to remember why this movie popped onto my radar.
Yeah, why did it?
So I looked it up on Letterboxd. I started following a director by the name of Joe Lynch, who I know of from
It sounds familiar.
Horror things. He did Wrong Turn 2 or 3 as his first directorial thing, and then has done a bunch of stuff since then that's fairly smaller. I think one of the most famous ones he did was I'm just blanking on the title now, but it was Salma Hayek, and she's like a badass crime boss lady or something, a lot of shooty guns sort of thing.
Was it on Netflix?
No, it came out pretty recently. Anyway, he's a very good Letterboxd follow. He writes his reviews in a very entertaining way, and I'm not a huge fan of his movies necessarily, but I was I'm gonna follow this guy for a while and see what's like.
Yeah.
And so he was going on and on about how much he liked this movie, and I watched the trailer and it seemed like fun. So it was a lot of times with this show at this point, I'm trying to find new stuff to discover and find things that are interesting. So we liked Dabney Coleman every time we've seen.
I really like him.
Past, I believe.
Last year, he and Terri Gar both. No, I think
that's right.
2024. It's
okay.
Not last year, but it's close enough that my brain still.
I remember that he was on an episode of Yellowstone.
He was. I did see that on his wiki.
At his very advanced age. And I watched the scene and had absolutely no idea. And then in the credits, it was it might have been, the episode might have come out after he passed, and they maybe did it was either I saw his name in the credits or they did the classic In Loving Memory.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, that was Dabney Coleman?
As Kevin Costner's
the character
dad.
on the show dies. Yeah. But they the bit on the show is Kevin Costner and his dad take a last ride.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't him in a hospital bed. He was trying to do stuff.
He was on a horse.
Oh wow, good for him.
Yeah. And he died in a field.
Wow.
Or died. They went out. They camped or whatever, and he died.
Yeah.
Camp, whatever it was. I don't remember the details. Yellowstone, bad show.
Is it?
So it's a fun soap for a season, and then it's much like any of those where it's just they just have to keep cranking the dial more and more. It's
I just see a lot of Beth on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, the dumbest people on earth really like Beth and Rip.
I like Beth. I
mean, you don't though. You like a funny clip that you saw on the show. You don't get the full context.
There's quite a. I don't think you understand YouTube Shorts since you're not as chronically online as me.
No,
they put
I do.
The whole fucking show at this point.
But you don't have the context, is what I'm saying. It's you would not. Beth is an evil person.
No, you do because every time. Because what happens is you open for my people on YouTube Shorts. You'll get this sound pop off in the comments. You open the comments on the YouTube.
There are no comments on podcasts.
I know, but it's a fun phrase.
Just so we're clear,
it's a fun phrase. So what happens is you watch the clip. And you go, I think I get it, but I don't know. And then you open the comments, and then one comment invariably says, "Paragraph guy, I summon you." And then someone who has watched the show will put 4 paragraphs in a comment of here's what this scene means in the broader scope. Or you'll just scroll through Beth and her brother are both terrible people, but she kind of had worse things happen to her because of what her brother did to her at the hospital or whatever.
No, okay. Look, spoilers for Yellowstone. Do you know what happened?
He had her ovaries removed when he had her 5150'd.
Okay. So,
I mean, I'm sure there's other things, but that is the thing that was...
the context of it is she gets pregnant, she goes to her brother for help, he takes her to a clinic on the reservation where they will not... because everyone in the town knows who their family is.
Yeah.
And the woman on the who is like in charge of it is like, you don't want to do this here. We only do these if you also have a hysterectomy, right? Is that the term?
Mm-hmm. That's having your ovaries removed.
Yeah, yeah. And we like, you know, it's permanent here. And he's like, well, there's nowhere else we can go. And he doesn't tell her, which is wrong. I'm not defending that. But what I'm saying is like, what else would they have done? There were no other choices. Had he told her that, she would have made that choice. So like, yes, it's bad. Don't get me wrong, not defending it. But throughout the rest of the show, she's like, you're the most evil person that exists. I'm going to get my boyfriend / husband / lifelong love interest, who I know does regular murders, to murder you. And it's like, well, all of you are bad.
Yeah.
What I would argue, call me crazy, the guy who is a hired gun murderer is the worst person than the guy who made a dumb mistake when he was 12 or 13 or 16 trying to help his sister.
Maybe, I don't know. But
so anyway, Beth Dutton, bad person.
I do like the scene where she smashes at the store. Is a good scene.
I guarantee you that if you watch the show, you would not be like, I love Beth Dutton. You'd be like, this woman is a fucking psycho.
Look, sometimes you just have to gesture your martini to the TV and say, good for her. Like Lucille Bluth.
I'm just saying you wouldn't do that. Most of the time, you're like, this woman is a conniving monster.
Well, also, the context of good for her is she's watching a news report of the woman who either murdered or attempted to murder her kids by pushing their van into a lake. And then she turns to the TV and says, good for her. So it's it is used in a bad thing.
Okay. Well, anyway, Beth Dutton, bad person. What was I saying? Why are we talking about Yellowstone? Oh, Dabney Coleman. So anyway, like Dabney Coleman was like, hey, you know, happy to watch him do some stuff. Let's see what we got going on here. And so I dove into this one thanks to Joe Lynch, I guess. We, of course, are talking about is 88 or 89? I didn't write it down.
I thought it was 90.
It is 1990. Thank you. 1990's Short Time.
Bad title.
Dabney Coleman.
Sorry, I'll say that up top. It's a bad title.
No, it's a bad title. Agreed. It's not a good title. Dabney Coleman, due to a mix-up, thinks he only has 2 weeks to live, and he finds out that his policeman's insurance policy will only pay out if he dies in the line of duty. So he tries more and more to get himself killed in the line of duty to take care of his son and his wife / I guess they're still married. So
no, they're
like, it's like borderline.
I think he's her. I think they're exes.
Okay. I thought it was ex-wife, and then later they talk. The way they're talking made me think it wasn't that. Played by Terri Gar. That's the movie in a nutshell. We'll dive into more of it here. How long into this did you realize you were accidentally watching The Last Holiday? That's what I'd like to start with.
So I didn't make that connection, but also I should have, because that's also having a moment on YouTube Shorts, is The Last Holiday.
Oh. Okay.
The Last Holiday, Aaron Brockovich, The Sopranos. It's like, I don't know what.
Why? Here's a wild idea. Why don't you just watch The Sopranos?
Because I don't want to watch The Sopranos. I'll watch.
It's a good show.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I've seen the clips about like what happens to the gay guy, and I don't know if I need to watch that show.
Yeah, I mean, you know, part of that is interesting because Tony, one of the things he ultimately has to make that call, but Tony is kind of like, I don't know, if they're happy, God bless.
Yeah,
you know.
But he could help dismantle the fucking system if he's the fucking capo de capo or whatever the fuck.
I don't know that he can, honestly. I'm not sure.
But I do love that on every. It has blossomed beyond Sopranos shorts, where anytime there is an old man in a short, all of the comments and something like bad happens to this man, or like, you know, his family's in a car, whatever. All the comments are like, how much more disrespect can Paulie take? So it has blossomed beyond, because now every Sopranos short comment section is full of that, and now other shorts that aren't related to the Sopranos but also feature an old man are full of how much more disrespect can Paulie take.
Here's a question I have for you. You were the king of like never read the comments. When I would talk about reading the comments on things, you were always like, I can't believe you read the comments. Now it sounds like you're exclusively reading comments.
There's a very clear delineation. I don't read the comments on anything remotely political. If it's a whisper of politics or whatever, I'm not going to read the comments because I don't want to see people be shitty and whatever. It's my mental health. If I'm watching, I don't know, a clip of Aaron Brockovich, I want to go in the comments and be like, yeah, fuck yeah. We all think this scene where she says two wrong feet and fucking ugly shoes. We all love that line. I want to read the people talking about how great that line is. Or be like, oh, I loved that actress in the Cinderella movie with Brandy. Like it's a more camaraderie when you're watching like show and movie clips.
I see. We got to the point where we have the disease diagnosis part, and I was like, oh my God, this is just Last Holiday, which I don't know if I told you, I was just verifying this is true. I'm 99% sure that I went and watched the original Last Holiday, which is a British movie.
I didn't know it was a remake.
Yeah. And the original, obviously a much older movie. It's from 1950.
Is it a comedy still?
It's pretty much the same movie.
Okay.
There's no whoa in the 1950s.
I mean, the 50s had whoa. It just looked different.
I'm just saying nobody like gets out of control.
She doesn't, ski. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm assuming it was a man because it was 1950.
It is a man, yes. But he does like have the whole thing where he like goes to a hotel and then he tells the hotel staff member and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But the difference is in the original one, he like meets the guy that the fictional disease is named after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to get all into that. It's not that interesting, but yeah, I was struck by that in this. We can just start getting through it. I forget what the person's job is in this movie, but one of the people involved in behind the scenes is named Michael Bolton, which cracked me up.
Oh, there's also a Bert and Ernie.
Yes, I couldn't believe that they are Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, which Sesame Street was the 70s, right?
Sesame Street is 69. I looked it up.
Is it really?
Definitely
wow, it's way older than I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, is it going to be? I was like, maybe they're taking it from Miracle, but no, that's probably from both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad title, real bad
really
title.
Bad title. Doesn't really explain what it's going on. Honestly, a better title of this movie is 2 Weeks to Live.
It is, or to borrow from Seinfeld, Prognosis Negative.
Yeah. To be clear, 2 Weeks to Live also not a good title, but it is a better title than the title of this movie.
Yeah. Or you know what? Line of Duty.
I could see that. Yeah, that's solid.
I also think that like it's another of what was the one we did with the two guys and when like the one guy they get like wrapped up in like an international crime ring or something and it's like they're in-laws. It's like that where I was like I want this movie to be like 10% goofier. Like you're a little too grounded in reality. As you're like doing, lights, motors, action, stunt, spectacular shit. Like,
honestly, my main beef with it is like we go too quickly from the like, oh, I gotta kill myself in the line of duty to, oh, I realize that like life is worth living and I want to spend time with my son and rekindle things with Terri Gar.
We'll talk about honestly, that because I have opinions and thoughts about that.
Well, I was going to say, I honestly think, like, from a performance perspective, like, Dabney Coleman is better at that than the goofy stuff.
Yeah. Well, like, so it's funny because when I think about Dabney Coleman, my first thought is 9 to 5. And, like, he does the goofy dream sequence stuff well. And even the non-dream sequencey stuff. Which is what
I was expecting this movie to be.
Where when it's not the dream sequence, but he's hooked up, harnessed into the garage door, but I'm like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
That's not a dream. It's just like whatever.
Right.
So like he can do it, but like they didn't. That's not the sandbox they built for him to play in.
Right.
So it's like
because like
it needs the dial needs to be pushed into one direction or the other. I think it should have gone into the goofy direction, because like the bones are here. There's a lot of boring shit. Like I don't need a 20-minute fucking car chase.
So the car chase is 6 minutes long, and I honestly think it's the most exciting part of the movie. I do think it's too long, but I do think the car chase is like really fun, and like once you kind of like sink into, I can't believe this is still going on. It does sort of have like second and third beats to it that I really like. But the part that I find so confusing is like, so we have the scenario of like, okay, 2 weeks to live. I gotta die in the line of duty. He doesn't do like enough dumb stuff. Like there's really only 2 beats. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's the car chase.
Well, no, 3. So there's the car chase, the negotiation, and then the end where he's going after the guy.
Yes. And so, but the end, like we as the audience are aware that this is not real anymore.
But we've known it's not real.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, because we see the guy. Hey, we always know it's not real. Sorry, but I feel like the end when the beat becomes Matt Frewer trying to catch him and be like, "You're not gonna die, Bert."
Yeah.
Is like more kinetic. I just feel like there should have been a montage of him like doing dumb stuff and getting medals.
Yes.
Like, give me 10 minutes. Like take it out of some other parts of the movie. You could do that, and give me 10 minutes of him like. Getting shot in the shoulder and coming back to work the next day, or like, getting knocked down a flight of stairs, or like tackling a guy through a window out the door and they land in a trash can and he's fine, or a dumpster.
Yeah. Like
that.
There's definitely
kind of stuff.
a movie or show that has done something that I can picture of like someone trying to like die or kill themselves. They're like, they drop the toaster in the bathtub and it like shorts out before it hits the wall. Like they keep trying to.
You are thinking of the Addams Family, aren't you?
No, because it's like I'm thinking of a montage that happens. Like that is one scene in the Addams Family, but I'm thinking of it like being part of a montage of like, why can't I die?
It could be Better Off Dead. He keeps trying to kill himself in Better Off
It
Dead.
could be.
I don't know if it's a montage.
It could be. But yeah, something like that I think would have been very fun. To do, but also like I think we could have sat a little longer in the establishment of who he is. Like
yes,
like. No more than 5 minutes, but like a little extra time of like, oh, this is why you don't have a relationship with your kid, and this is why that you're divorced. Like we kind of glean, but I think a little extra, like he truly has no fucking life because he's too obsessed with, he's cheaty. Like he's too obsessed with, making everything correct and lasting forever.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing too that's interesting is like he's talking like in the very beginning. We should just start going through the movie, I guess. But like in the very beginning, he like eats a donut, and then he's talking to Matt Frewer in the locker room, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe I ate that. There's no fiber." And so like we get the impression that this guy is like taking care of himself with health, like how he eats healthy and does that stuff. Like later, there's a thing with he's like, "Bert, your yogurt," which is like a funny line.
It is a good line.
But like we see him go back to his sad bachelor apartment. And he cracks open a beer and eats fried chicken. And it is clearly intended to be like, oh, this guy feels like there's nothing left to live for. But it's not established hard enough in the beginning that resonates as well. It's like, I agree. I got it because I'm not a fucking idiot. But like
there should have been something in his apartment that was like still in the package that like he's saving it for something very special. And like the audience can know like, oh, there's never going to be the right special moment for this thing. Like, I don't know. It's like...
Yes. A bottle of whiskey.
It's just something that's like clearly still wrapped in plastic. And it's like, you've had that as long as I've known you, Dabney Coleman, blah, 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 blah. Like something to just like, that he could have then like, ripped off in the third act.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a good one too. Or just like hammer the food thing harder, where he's like eating a salad or something like that. Is like Matt Frewer gets a burger and he eats a salad, whatever.
Because like there's the line, as he's feeding his fish and listening to his one message on his machine, it says like your gas is going to be shut off at 5 p.m. And I was like, did I miss something, or is that just supposed to be like?
Found that so confusing
because he doesn't react to it at all.
Nope. Yeah.
Not a mutter, not a face, not a nothing. And then so I was like, is it like, is he a Scrooge? Like he's not spending he won't even spend money to keep his like utilities on? Like, I don't know what we were supposed to get from that.
I don't either. I found it very confusing. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm not sure I wrote that down, but I also found that very confusing because it's like, oh, is this just like sad bachelor dad thing? Like, I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah. Murphy bed. He needed a Murphy bed. Like,
He did like a bad one though.
The bad
lumpy looking one.
Springy, like crooked. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A quarter-inch thick mattress.
Yeah, and like a studio apartment where you can touch both walls if you extend your arms.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bed is not a full-size bed. He has to sleep on it curled up like a cat.
It's a sideways bed. It's like a cruise ship bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Murphy that folds down from the side. That would be funny. So we have a hijacked shipment of weapons. It seems to be hijacked by white guy ninjas.
Yeah, and a really nice backward spin kick. I was duly impressed.
This action sequence is pretty fun.
I agree.
They get into a chase. There's some tires getting shot out. I love when they roll up the back of the panel van. It's sort of like a mail truck or something like that, or a moving van. They roll it up, and the guy has a RPG, and he shoots the car with it, and just smokes these two. Because
it's like, well, in my head, I'm like, I know that that's cool and like visually impressive, but like, why would they go to the trouble? These guys have used a suppressor to shoot people earlier, to shoot tires earlier. Yeah. So now they're just like, fuck any sense of discretion.
Well, it seemed like they were like, oh, we can't kill anybody during this job. We have to make sure we don't kill anybody. The leader of this gang, by the way, is Xander Berkeley. Previous episode, Terminator 2, he gets stabbed through the head through a half-gallon.
Oh, that's right. He's the I did see that in the trivia because someone in the movie's name is John. Someone who worked in the movie's name is John Connor. And so there's a trivia piece that's like, this guy would go on to play John Connor's stepfather. I was like, or foster father or whatever. I was like, okay, at least it's not a fucking Marvel movie.
That's not fucking trivia, bro.
I mean,
not trivia.
The fact that it's someone's name John Connor, I will give them that one. It's not. It's at least it's not. Fact, this person was in a Marvel movie. I'm like, that's not trivia about this movie.
That fact is not fun. It's an unfun fact. That's a dork loser fact. He gets stabbed through a milk carton. He just wanted to watch some wrestling,
That scene.
Fantastic explosion. I will say, like, we talk about this a lot on this podcast. I know it's broken record time, but the fact that you get like this high quality of an explosion in a fairly small budgeted comedy in 1990 is bonkers. There's so much good action and like a couple of really fun explosions.
Actually, I would be curious to know what the budget was, because Terri Gar is not like a pretty big name in 1990.
Yeah, I'm not saying it had no budget, but it was just certain. It's like this is a mid-budget. This is what I would put in. It is not one, but this has the potential to be a mid-budget banger. We talked about this on the podcast, right? My designation.
I mean,
okay,
maybe go ahead.
Like Midnight Run to me is the perfect example of a mid-budget banger. They just don't make movies like that anymore. It's like
that's fair.
It's for adults. It's got a good concept and good actors. It's got, money is spent and the movie looks expensive, but is not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
This is the hill I would die on is bring back the mid-budget banger.
And ugly people.
More ugly people in movies and bring back the mid-budget banger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This movie, plenty of uggos.
Mm-hmm. Average looking people, we should say.
There's some uggos.
There's a few uggos, but like give me average looking. Like,
yeah.
They can't all be Henry Cavill. I love Henry Cavill.
Give me people who look like the people I see day to day when I commute to work.
Yes.
Give me your Matt Frewers.
More of that.
Who's a perfectly, I'm not saying Matt Frewers unattractive. I'm just saying he's like a guy.
A perfectly average man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what we want. A perfectly average man. A Pam.
Mm-hmm.
More Pams.
Give me actual, boy next door, actual girl next door, not a supermodel.
Right. Give me a dad that I would see at daycare.
Mm-hmm. Get me a dad that would be mowing his lawn as I'm driving down my neighborhood.
Yeah, do a little wave, tip his beer up to me.
Yep.
Give me that guy. So we cut to the police station. It's the retirement donut stack for Dabney Coleman. We get Matt Frewer, so we have to wonder if this movie is taking place in the Zelensky extended universe.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the locker room and we find out Dabney Coleman is this is a little bit of the stuff we talked about. Like, he's wearing 2 bulletproof vests. He's like, I got 7 days to retirement or 8 days to retirement. Like, I'm not messing around.
Yeah.
There's these new bullets that shoot through vests, which, like, pausing here, we didn't see this much later in the movie when Xander Berkeley gives Joe Pantoliano one of these magic.
Well, we do see the bullet. We do see that they are very, like, in the beginning, we don't see the destruction, but we see them, they pick it up and it's like, the length of the Joker's barrel, gun barrel.
Well, it's a 50 caliber bullet, which is for like a very large.
But
gun.
aren't those like, is that the actual size of a 50 caliber bullet? Like, they're that long?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They're enormous. Yeah.
I guess in video games you never see your character like hold up a bullet. It's just like
right.
It's a small box that says just 50 caliber.
Yeah, 50 caliber bullets are bonkers. Like the gun that Arnold uses in T2, the spinny one. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. He picks up that enormous gun that's the spinny machine
it's
gun.
like a Gatling gun type, but not.
Yeah. That's like a 50 caliber. That type of gun is what would shoot like a 50 caliber bullet.
Gotcha.
Like it's not a gun that you hold. It's a gun that like a sniper rifle could use.
You'd be over encumbered in video game parlance.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it would be that. It's like, I think you might genuinely not be. It's like you mount it on a truck, and it's in video game levels.
Yeah, someone's driving and someone's
and you have to shoot backwards. That's a 50 caliber machine gun.
Okay, that's fair.
What I was saying is like, Dabney Coleman's like, oh, they got these new bullets. They're armor piercing. And then we see this bullet. I mean, again, it's a 50 caliber, which is like, if a 50 caliber bullet hits a human being, it's pretty much game over in a number of ways. But like, even imagining like a small regular bullet version of this is like, I think it's going through both vests.
Yes.
When he shoots the car with the 50 caliber one, the opposite door gets ejected off into the sky.
Does. So
it's like, I don't think 2 vests is going to help you. I think they would put a hole through you.
So yeah, he and a jerk neighbor from Honey I Shrunk the Kids are driving around. He's trying to give money advice, and because it's 1990, it's hilariously adorable. Like
the fucking 9% CD rate. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, put a quarter in a sock every day, and you'll have enough for a house by the end of the year.
Exactly.
Go play in traffic.
I literally wrote, you fucking pricks, 9% CD.
Oh my god. I just did the CD shopping. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they hold up a wanted poster or
this
APB,
is a really
I guess.
Funny gag. I will say this is probably my favorite gag in the movie.
It's very much in the spirit of like, we need $50,000 to save the rec center, and then they turn on the TV and they're like, the Star Search contest with a prize of $50,000. Like, it's that moment.
This honestly felt like a Brooklyn Nine-Nine bit to me.
It fully would have been a Brooklyn Nine-Nine bit where like it would have been Jake holding it up and being like, yeah, we're gonna see this guy on the street, aren't we? And then he pulls it down and it's literally the man's face behind it.
Yeah. And in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it would have been more like a really exaggerated picture that doesn't look like a human that would exist. And then the guy would look, or woman would be like absurd. It would be some very absurd looking person.
Very much like a weird Barbie moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they see the exact man they're looking for on the wanted poster or APB, I guess, and they give chase. And this sequence feels so much like the tutorial opening sequence of a video game where it's like, when you see a ledge with white paint on it, press X to vault. As like they're just like running through the rooftops. It's just what it feels like. It would be you as Dabney Coleman, doing the running animation as your partner is like, vault over that ledge.
Yeah. Or what's Last of Us? Oh, I guess you never played that, but there constantly parts of Last of Us where
with the gas mask.
You like boost your health.
Oh yes.
With you, and they're like, I'll find a way through, and then you hear them like run away, and then they're like, come down here, and they like tell you where to go. It very much feels like that. This is fun. Like, this is fun. They're like running along the roof and like doing like a little bit of jumping and rolling and tucking and rolling, and then we finally get to this like very long jump, and it's a well hidden safety pad that they're landing on, because the people First, the bad guy jumps on it and he lands like a sack of hammers, and gets up and keeps rolling. And then Dabney Coleman stops Matt Frewer from doing it, and we see like 8 uniformed cops make this jump, which is bonkers.
8 beat cops just like these people are doing like Swan Lake jetés across this alley gap.
Yeah. A couple of these cops land hard, like really stiff.
I think it's got to be. I'm guessing it's like a thin plywood on top of the crash mat.
I would have to think so, yeah.
But like that cannot possibly be police procedure, like protocol.
No.
To like, because it smash cuts to them being like ridiculed for not making this death-defying leap across an alley by the commissioner or whatever, and he's like, yeah, thanks. And that's Chicago. I don't know what's doing Chicago. He's like, yeah, thanks to these 2 idiots, they got away because they were too afraid to jump across an alley gap. And it's like, I genuinely don't think you're supposed to do that.
Right. That seems like well outside the bounds. Also, this reminded me, I know you're not going to care about this, but in the early days of the wrestling company, I like AEW, they had a match where they had like this big cage and people were fighting on top of it. And then a guy did a stunt where he like got thrown off the top of it. And it was supposed to look like he landed on that like diamond plated steel, like in the back of a pickup truck or whatever. And it was just painted wood, like, on top of a crash pad, which like, yeah, of course, like, they need to be safe, but it broke in such a way that it was very obvious that it was like
not metal.
Yeah, because it broke. And so the announcers who like I don't think could really see what had happened were like, "Oh my god!" and they really, really sold it, and then they just got endlessly ridiculed about it forever because people were like, "Yo," like, it's like, okay, I agree with you. Like it was silly, but also like we all are buying into.
It's like going to Disney World and like being like, "Why doesn't Ariel stand up?" Like we all know why we're here. We all bought the ticket. Yeah. We all looked at the tin and said, "This is what I want." Just shut up, nerds.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I don't know if you caught this, but there's a moment during this chase scene where Matt Frewer is like climbing up the ladder of the fire escape in the beginning, and my dude has the sweatiest ass crack I've ever
I
seen
saw that,
film.
and I was like, I genuinely, my brain like just auto-corrected to that he had suspenders hanging down because it made a Y shape, like an upside down Y.
So I think what we have here is a tidy whitey
swamp ass
sweat.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like the tip of the Y is like, you know, the leg part.
Yeah.
Of the tidy
so because it was that, I was like, my brain was like, oh, he's wearing suspenders. He dropped suspenders, and I was like, no, he did not. That's not what that is.
Yeah. I was watching it and I was like, did I just see what I think I just saw? And this movie is free on YouTube, by the way, and pretty good quality. Not great sound, but good video. So I like hit the back 10 seconds and I was like, yep, that is the sweatiest butt crack I've ever seen in a movie.
Mm-hmm. So they go to Dabney's physical. Like, I don't know if it's like his retirement physical. Like, I don't know if it's like when you take a.
I think it's a physical for life insurance.
Okay, I was like, it's like when you rent a car. Like they inspect it when you get it, when you bring it back. Like they're like, yep, all checks out. Like, what are we doing here? This man's probably 50 in kayfabe, right?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, and they're the first black character with dialogue is worried about a drug test, and I was like, well, that's fun.
Yeah. I like he's like, you think it would show up on this drug test if I smoked a joint? And it's like, fucking yeah, dude, it's a drug test.
It was a few days ago. It's not even like a week ago. Like,
right.
Also, because of what he was wearing, I thought he was a police officer too.
Oh, sure.
Because at first it's like a little, or a pilot even, because it has the right. Emblem. He's a bus driver. We find out the emblem for the bus company. It doesn't have any. It has wings on it, and I was like, "That's a bad design."
It does look like a plane.
You gotta have if you're making a bus emblem, wheels. It needs wheels.
Yes, or a bus.
Or a bus, yeah. This I don't know if maybe this was true of the era that they didn't label each sample. They just put them in a tray and labeled the tray.
Well, it's funny because you can see writing on the pee vials.
Yeah, which I didn't know what they were writing because they wrote clearly different things on them.
I think that's why he switches the cards. So it's like, oh, all of these tests, like this card had a number on it, like B7. And we switch it, and
because right nowadays it's every vial of blood they suck out of me like a juice box. I have to read each label and then they put it on and then I have to read them again. Like it's a very different world we live in.
Well, I think that's to prevent short time situations.
Truly, no, I get it because even one time I think there was a mistake because my cholesterol, my bad cholesterol was like 300 or something like preposterously high, and my doctor, I was like, "What is happening?" And my doctor was like, "I think it was a mistake. We'll test you again because that seems preposterously high of a jump."
Yeah. It's like the Seinfeld with the yogurt.
Yes,
dripped into the test tube.
So
remember when you could do a Rudy Giuliani impression, and it was like, remember the funny bit when Rudy Giuliani was on Seinfeld and he was like, "All I like is frozen yogurt. I don't know why my cholesterol is so high."
Oh yeah, the weird. I did, and then I don't remember him having him having a lisp is so out of like.
Oh no, he has the same. That's the same voice. It's just now he's like a weird monster puppet man that like I don't want to say he. Oh, it's like you're like Rudy Giuliani in any way.
Now he's just sweating self tanner.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hair dye.
It was hair dye.
That's what it was. So we go from we see and we get man ass. I was like shock.
Yeah.
Dabney goes to pick up his kid from elementary school, and his kid gets in the car wearing a Harvard sweatshirt.
Yes. Well, Dabney had been talking about his kid going to Harvard no matter what.
So in my head,
to Matt Frewer.
But he doesn't. The way he says it is like, I want to make sure my kid can get to Harvard. So like, does this 9-year-old have like Harvard ambitions? Like, what in the Rory Gilmore nonsense is this?
Yeah.
And then we see Dabney give him the ceramic beer stein of Harvard. Yes. And the kid is. This is where we see the kid clearly be like, "What?" And you're like, "Oh, the kid doesn't give a shit about Harvard. Why is he wearing the sweatshirt? What is happening?"
Right.
Dabney just decided that Harvard, which like, depending on what interest your kid has, Harvard might not be the right school for that.
Yeah. I mean, look, parents have delusions. Our mom was like very convinced that I should apply to an Ivy League school, and I was like,
she wanted me to apply to Carnegie Mellon, and I was like, I mean, that seems a bit out of my depth, but okay.
I was like, I have neither the SAT score nor the GPA nor the extracurricular activities to qualify to get into an Ivy League school, and it's expensive. And that was what really sold it, is Dad being like, the applications are like $250.
Yeah, they're not like free.
Yeah,
that's why I took the ACTs. She was like, you should take the ACTs. And I was like, they're just SATs plus science. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to use that. She said, well, you're taking the ACTs. And look at me now. We meet Terri Gar.
They have a very big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Where she's like, you're going to give this kid a fucking complex. Stop talking about Harvard so much.
He's 9. Sit down. And even like a line of dialogue in here about like, I mean, you were this way while we were married. Why should I expect it to change? Like something that's like, hey, because we clearly tell that they care for each other. But like, I need more of like, hey, you haven't, you're still the same neurotic dipshit. Like, come on, buddy.
But they don't do enough neurotic dipshit stuff.
No, they don't.
That's my beef. Is like, I just need like 30% more neurotic dipshit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He goes home to his sad divorced dad apartment, and I thought it was like, oh, he lives near the train tracks because it's like shaking.
I do wish it was that.
The neighbors are boning, which also would have been good for your Murphy bed thing, because they could have shaken the Murphy bed free from the wall.
Would have been great, or made it bounce back up into the wall.
Oh, sure, either one.
God, I know the pains of thin walls. I swear to God, my neighbor's got an emu or something. Like there's a loud, what sounds like a bird sometimes next door.
In my freshman year of college, there were 2 guys who had the room adjacent to me. The one I was friendly with, the other one was not unfriendly with, but just like was never around, didn't hang out with folks too much. They had like known each other from home and then got to college, and it was like kind of going their separate ways. And so the guy I was friendly with, we would, hang out in the same core group of people. And then the one weekend, the other guys, the guy I was friendly with is named Mike. I don't remember the other guy's name. I'm going to say DJ because I don't remember. So DJ's girlfriend.
Let's just give a name. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this is getting too complicated. And also like there are 5 million Mikes. So anyway, Mike is hanging out with us. DJ's girlfriend comes to visit, and they proceed to have like
Olympic level sex.
Point of like, but it was like, this has got to be performative, right? Like this is beyond like, hey, it's been a while, I miss you, we're having a good time here, to like, dorms are made of cinder blocks. Mm-hmm. They're pretty resonant, as they are, and you could hear these two. Like we had this like little small hallway where my dorm room was in between 2 lounges, and we were in the lounge, and my room was like halfway down the hallway, a good 25 feet away. Mm-hmm. And we could hear them. We could hear them clearly. It wasn't like you heard the sounds. And then somebody got up and like pushed the hallway door open. It was like it was like a swinger door that it didn't have like a
it goes by
handle.
Like
but it didn't like shut and like seal.
Yeah.
So it would like,
like a diner door.
And yeah. And the person like went and pushed the door open, and the volume of course like doubled. What in the fuck? And so it became this thing where like people would enter the lounge and we'd be like, go open the door. And they would open the door and be like, what the fuck? And then like some time passed, he came like sauntering out to get something from the lounge area. And we were just like, what the hell, man? So it's like, that's beyond the pale.
How long was it? Like an hour? Like was it like a long time or just like
It was
loud?
It was like a standard unit of time, but it was like it was just like, maybe it was 20, 30 minutes of whatever it was. But it was just preposterous. Like the volume, it was more the volume and less the length.
Yeah, okay. And this is where we see the gun we mentioned earlier. They're at the docks doing the weapons sale, and he demonstrates
Pants.
Huh?
Joe Pantoliano.
Oh yeah. He demonstrates by shooting through the car and blowing the other car door clean off. Very much
Opposite side.
A theme park stunt show nonsense.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And the guy who was driving Joey Pants starts to like get in, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Kind of like thing. And then he gets kicked in the nuts, which is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And
I also would have liked normally in these kind of movies, we know the bad guy a little bit. It's like he's the untouchable businessman of the city, or he owns half the buildings and what it's just all of a sudden we see this guy and it's like, okay, because he's my wife's brother or something, and they're like, oh, whatever, and I'm like, give me more, like, what, huh?
Yeah. Well, he's just supposed to be like a goon, but I just love that they're like, hey, it's Joey Pants. Everybody knows he's kind of a bad guy, right?
Apparently. So the docs have a mix-up, obviously, and they think that Dabney Coleman is terminal. The doctor, did you recognize the doctor? He played several things. But the thing, so I know him also from the show Tin Man, which is a bad show that I have like a fondness for because it's fun and bad. It was a sci-fi miniseries of Wizard of Oz. And then he was also in Reefer Madness briefly. But he was Roy LaGrange, the Faith Healer, in the first Grim Reaper episode of Supernatural.
Oh, man. Deep cuts.
First season. It's like season 1. Like...
Okay, I do not remember that guy, but that's funny.
Yeah, do you remember the episode though, where with
No, I don't think I
Blue Oyster Cult? So in the actual show, they needle drop "Don't Fear the Reaper" anytime for the Grim Reaper, and then of course those licenses didn't maintain for streaming. I was once like, let me put on Supernatural because I want to watch this episode that I remember and whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'm waiting and ready for this needle drop, and it's like some random ass other song that's like maybe royalty free, and I was just like, this is so less impactful without "Don't Fear the Reaper."
That's funny. I have not encountered that with other shows, but not Supernatural. That's really funny.
Season 1 apparently the first couple seasons are bad about it because like Eric Kripke was so much like the music is a big like an extra cast member. And so when you take that out, it's just like it tastes a little different. Yeah.
He is such an interesting, I mean, a lot of people do this, but Jensen Ackles was in like season, I don't know what season of The Boys.
Yeah, he was Soldier Boy.
Yeah. But Jared Padalecki is going to be in the final season.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
Oh, as a soup or as a...
I have no. He is in it for like literally a flash, and I was like, "That's Jared Padalecki." And then they also showed Jensen Ackles back in it too.
Okay, yeah, I keep thinking about getting back into The Boys. That's another one that's getting a lot of shorts, but I'm like, once my favorite character was gone, I was like, a lot of my enjoyment. You know who she is, my Queen Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, well, Elizabeth Shue's barely in the show.
She's in the first. She's like a core of the first season.
Favorite character?
I was so excited to see Elizabeth Shue, and like the way her character like had the weird relationship with Homelander. I was like I was like, this has a lot. Like we can do a lot with this. Yeah. And I was so bummed when, spoiler alert for the, like, I don't know, a 6-year-old show at this point.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
Spoiler for that, but she dies in the end of the first season, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's fair. I do remember being sad about that. I just was surprised she was your favorite character. Yeah, that's a show that I just, like, I'm going to finish out of obligation and nothing else.
Yeah. Like I said, that's another one that's getting a lot of YouTube shorts, so I can catch up and see. I've seen this scene.
You and I have very different YouTube shorts. Mine is like that guy who cuts the barnacles off lobsters in Boston.
I do love him. The Lobsterman. He's a 4th generation Lobsterman.
The guy who does the movie prop shorts, which are pretty.
I like him. I like him too.
Yeah. Mine
Stop, prop, and roll.
And then The other one that I get, which is like, I get people dumpster diving, which is kind of an entertaining thing.
Oh, okay.
In short form. And then I get this guy who's, I swear to Christ, this is what this man sounds like. And the reason I keep getting fed it is because I just can't believe it's not a bit. But he goes, I'm going to take you around to some of the garage sales to show you the things that I got to flip for a profit.
I mean, that's YouTube voice.
Yeah. But it's like the garage sales to flip for a profit.
And it's always like he puts one YouTube listing on the screen for these, like, this sells for $700. I'm like, there's one listing on YouTube for $700. I don't know that sells for that.
This guy is always like, I flipped it already for $69, and it's like ka-ching, and it's like his sold eBay listings.
Yeah,
so he is showing you what he sold.
He's been able to grift for.
But then the other thing, he's like, I bought these to sell locally in my booth. And it's like this weird cadence, but also
it's YouTube voice.
Yes, but this is the part that I find particularly perplexing. Is like, I feel like I'm a student of the game when it comes to regional accents. I find them fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of them. I've never heard soul instead of sale.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one either. I didn't know what you were saying at first.
Where this man hails from, but like, I went to some garage souls. And I was like, souls? What is this? What is this, man?
That is a strange one. I mean, my YouTube Shorts varies. I do get a lot of TV. Like, I've seen the scene in The Boys where the waitress from The Great Outdoors tells Homelander that they brought in psychologists to make him massively codependent. I've seen that scene so many times of her explaining this. Sometimes it's cut with panels from the comics. Sometimes it's not.
Okay.
But honestly, like, for like good...
This podcast is mostly about your YouTube Shorts.
Sorry, this movie's fine. Like, it's... Yeah. That's what... Sorry, this movie is fine.
Well, it's the biggest bummer is, like, this movie should be good. This movie should be a B+, and it's a bummer that it isn't.
I agree. So yeah, that's who the doctor is. And he even says, he's like, I normally don't even bother telling patients about this diagnosis because it's not cancer. It's basically that your body has determined, like, your body has decided that your white cells are like something that they should fight. And so your body is depleting its own white cells, and it's just like a very decline, whatever. Yeah. He's like, I don't bother telling because you're going to be dead within 2 weeks. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. Which, like, at least let them get their affairs in order, buddy. Like, come on.
And that's what he says to him. He's like, I thought you might need to get your affairs in order. I'm like, well, doesn't everybody need to get their affairs in order? Wouldn't most people appreciate the opportunity to say some goodbyes?
Right. And so Dabney leaves and goes to watch his kid play baseball in a very creepy way that suggests, like, he doesn't have custody of his child. I know that's not the case, but, like, that is the energy that we're given.
Also, it's like just like kids farting around. Like, it's not like a baseball game where there's uniform
proper practice. It's just like
right. It's just kids having fun.
But the music they chose to put over it is like note for note the end of Carrie, where Sue Snell is walking, like, filmed in reverse and played backwards to Carrie's grave. Like, it is the same kind of like flowery. The movie's over. I was like, what is happening here?
Here's the other thing that I find so insane about this. Like, I know that this is literally like, yes, Trip, you're pointing out the fact that it's a movie, but, like, if I get this diagnosis, I'm asking for a retest.
100%.
Where it's like, this happened out of nowhere. There was no signs in any of my previous checkups that I had this incredibly terminal disease. I gotta have a double check on this.
Yeah, I'm like, you're doing a retest. I'm going to Quest and LabCorp. I'm going to everyone so everyone can do a different test.
At minimum, we're getting a second opinion on this.
Yeah.
One.
Oh yeah. But he doesn't. He just, like, internalizes, and then he has a dream sequence where his 18-year-old son is, like, going, like, excited to go to Harvard. And this is where it definitely has that, like, 9 to 5, but also, like, Christmas Story and Elvira like, of like, oh, I've never told you, son, but your father's life insurance policy didn't pay for that, and, well, you can't go to Harvard. And, like, even though that's not his son's dream in the slightest, he's a 9-year-old, doesn't give a shit about Harvard.
Right.
He goes to I don't know who this would be, like HR maybe in the police force.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to shorthand it.
And she's the one who says like, yeah, as long as you're, you will get you will have life insurance, but it only pays if you're in the line of, killed in the line of duty. Which to me, I'm like, cops have great pension, right? Like that's part of it. But is life insurance not part of that?
Well, so, there are different types of life insurance policies, and my hunch is there is, a very large amount of money available to the widows and children of officers killed in the line of duty versus, a guy who has a heart attack. One of those is, conventional life insurance, which is however much the policy is.
Yeah.
And the other one is probably, a very special, hey, we're paying the premiums on this because, it's a bad look if your widow isn't set for life after this happens to you.
Makes sense.
So I think that's what to be clear, I'm talking out of my ass.
Yeah, I know.
But that is how, that is my, conceptualization of what this is. It's just, there is probably a different sort of life insurance that, because it's, such a rare possibility comparatively, it probably costs less money, but is worth more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Your regular life.
Yeah, no, you're making sense.
Yeah, that's my guess. Again, I'm completely talking out of my ass. I'm not speaking with any knowledge. It's just, having lived life on Earth, that's how I assume is happening.
So naturally, that means we have to get reckless.
Right, and this is the part I was like, okay, now we're gonna get the funny stuff, and it's just not enough. I just need more stupidity, him running into an armed robbery or whatever. We get this thing where he poignantly leaves his vest and gun, and I was like, isn't it much more interesting if you take all the bullets out of your gun so you can wave it around and prompt them to shoot you?
Yeah, but he's like, we're in the bad neighborhood in Seattle, and I'm like, in 1990 Seattle, what was the bad neighborhood? They didn't trim their grass to a quarter of an inch. Come on.
One house was Pearl Jam, and the house across the street was Nirvana, and they were just like,
yeah,
that's the problem.
And so they're like, it's a domestic disturbance, and so he peels out over there, and it's just two old people, and I was like,
I actually thought this was pretty funny that she starts hitting the man, and she's like, he said he was leaving, and he's like, no, I said I was eating. I thought that was funny.
I think my problem with my biggest problem with the movie is that they came up with, I don't know, 10 bits, and they were like, we can make each of these bits 10 minutes long, and it's like, you should have come up with 20 bits and made them 5 minutes long, because everything is just it's too much air in everything.
I agree. And it's weird because the movie's only 93 minutes long, but I did find myself at points being like, oh, okay, oh my, how much time is left in this? And it's a bummer because it's not that long of a movie.
No. So yeah, they have that whole exchange. And then he hears that there's a car chase.
Honestly, I was really delighted that they were like, it's a domestic disturbance in the rough neighborhood, and it was two old white people and not a very racist joke.
I agree.
I was sure that I literally wrote I'm sure this is going to be tasteful. And I was like, what rap song are we going to hear a little snippet of here? It's what bad, and it was like, nope, not that at all. They just completely avoided this thing I was sure was going to be racist.
Yeah. So he tricks, Matt Frewer, Matt,
you got it right.
Matt Frewer out of the car so he can peel off, and join in this police chase. And he's bobbing and weaving through the cars to get to the front. He's Mad Maxing other police cars off the road, slamming into the side.
Yeah.
They turn onto, I guess this is why I just about to correct myself. They turn onto a closed for maintenance, closed for road work thing. Because all of a sudden, Dabney zips through the other cars, and all of a sudden he is the only other car on the road. Yeah. And I was like, so did the other cops just stop? They were like, he's got it. Dabney's got it.
Honestly, there should have been a thing where, in the process of overtaking the lead cop car, he caused it to spin out, and then it was a Blues Brothers-esque pileup that happened.
I agree. And this is the chase that, it just, I need, if you're going to make it this long, you have to make it funnier.
Yeah.
Or
more beats to it. How about the radio is squawking and he's getting yelled at on the radio, or
has to turn it off.
Conversation on the radio. Yeah.
Drive through a truck and a bunch of like live chickens are like everywhere. Like
yeah.
There just needs to be more business because it's just like and then there was like 3 times they used this shot as all of a sudden they're driving like, is it an underpass? It's like when there's like an elevated road and it's in like a big city.
Right.
Where there's like an elevated road and you're driving under it. Those things don't go on forever unless it's this movie where they drive for 2 to 3 minutes at like 70, 80, 90 miles an hour under this thing. And they're still under it. And I was like, I don't know where in the world there's one that long, but they recycle the same shot.
You know what? I don't know what it is because I'm 99% sure they don't have this in Seattle, but I thought that was like the elevated train like in Chicago. Like I've seen a similar thing in movies set in Chicago where they're driving under the L train.
Oh, I guess it could be that. But there's a shot of a blue handrail stairway that they used 3 times, and I was like, it's just the same shot you're inserting. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
He has a nice flip. Like, there's a cool car stunt that you think is going to be the end of the car chase, and then he
keeps going.
It looks like the car at the end of the Blues Brothers, or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's what you say, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah. The other thing too is like, there's like parts of the thing that are really fun. Like the part where he's banging around through the cop cars is like really crunchy and very like kinetic in a fun, lively way. And then there's a second part that is similarly lively and crunchy where he's like gaining on the bad guys and they're shooting at each other and they're like exchanging who's in front and who's behind. And then they sort of like take a turn that he misses and he does the part where the car rolls. And like you said, you think that's going to be over. And then it's like, oh, he keeps coming, but this doesn't get like preposterous enough. Like it would be funnier if like the roof of the car came off and now he was in the convertible
or you know what it should have been. He should have flipped his car. It's destroyed, but he lands next to a like parked police car that's like scanning for like speeders.
Sure.
And so he gets out and he's like, I outrank you, get out of the car. And then he takes the new police car and so he has a fresh car for the second half. Like, give me something.
Do the same gag you just said, but it's a kid with a bicycle.
That too.
And now he's like, pumping furiously on like a little girl's bicycle with
tassels.
The tassels, yeah, like blowing in the wind, and they're shooting at him while he's on a bicycle. Like give me something stupider.
Yeah, it does end with a really nice card jump moment.
Really cool looking.
But like it's too long and there's not enough stuff in it.
It's like 6 minutes or so. I double checked the
yeah. Like if you're a funny movie, make funny.
Yeah.
Like it's like
lots of fun, glass exploding, like bits of cars go everywhere. That stuff I did think was quite fun.
Yeah. Then he goes to a funeral home to talk with the funeral director, but like it doesn't really add a whole lot.
No, this part is kind of bonkers to me of like, why is this here?
This should have happened as soon as he got the diagnosis, because then it's like, oh, a funeral costs a lot. Harvard costs a lot.
Yes.
I need to make sure my family's set up for life. Like that's what it should have been instead of here where I was just like, what are we doing? And so he goes to Terri Gar and he like, it's the equivalent of like the hysterical woman in a nightgown in the rain showing up at the front door. Like that's the energy he's giving in this scene where he's like, "You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna I love you. I'm gonna take care of you." And she's very rightly like, "What's happening?" And he just keeps rambling, and she lets it happen. And then they rekindle, and it's like, you're just gonna have sex with your ex-wife and not tell her that you're dying. Like you're gonna he then fosters these relationships with his kid and his ex-wife. And like really rekindling all of this, but not saying I'm going to die in a week, which is like, the important part of that sentence.
Right. Like in a short bit, there's a really nice moment where he takes his son to the aquarium and they have this like really beautiful day together and they have so much fun. And he's like carrying the kid up to bed who's like all tuckered out. And he's like, Dad, can we do this again next week? And he's like about to cry. And he's like, we'll see, kid. It's like, no, dude, I'm sorry.
You are doing irreparable harm to your family.
Right. It's like this kid is going to remember this in a negative way because he's going to be like, yeah, my dad didn't tell me. Like my dad knew he was terminal and he decided to just like not tell us.
My dad, I understand being like, I want to give him a perfect day and then do this. But like,
yeah,
buddy, you gotta do the second part.
Yeah, exactly. Highly irresponsible. I do think it's not that weird that like exes would have sex with each other and like maybe think about rekindling. Like I think that's got to be more common than you think.
I don't think it's uncommon, but like those people aren't dying.
The larger point. Yeah.
The larger issue is the issue is that he is dying and he knows he's dying and is not saying anything.
So we cut from this. He has sex with Terri Gar. The aquarium thing happens later. We cut from this to a hostage situation, and the like, I don't even know how to describe this guy. He's like the hotshot detective, I guess.
Yeah,
is like putting a bomb suit on because.
But like we haven't really. We had one encounter with him, right?
He was in the locker room giving.
Frewer.
He has been giving Dabney Coleman a little bit of shit, but like. I don't know, like you said this, and I really think you like cracked it for me in a way I hadn't thought about before you said it, was like the first 20 minutes of this movie, instead of being like, oh, we'll set up the arms dealer and we'll set up the
like that's not the important part of this movie, guys.
It's like you should just set up Dabney Coleman and like have the big thing the cops are talking about be like this guy. Someone keeps robbing these weapon shipments and we gotta figure this out, you know, and it's like, just have it in the background and have this scene is fine. The scene's fun, but like, give me more of like establish Dabney Coleman, make him this neurotic health food nut.
Make his desk has little chalk outlines for every like piece of stationery and office supply that he has. So everything is in a place.
It's not chalk outlines. It's like they are the part of the desk where the thing goes is permanently lighter from like sun fading.
That too. I like that too.
Yeah, so it's like not him drawing chalk outlines, but it's just like his stapler's been in the same exact spot so long that like if we pick up the stapler, you can see the desk has been discolored in that spot, and he puts it back and like lines.
Or the desk hasn't been discolored in that spot because the light never touches it.
Yeah, it's the opposite, I guess. But he like puts it down and then like nudges it in place into the, you know, whatever. Give me that, like give me those little bits to establish him a little bit more. Or like Matt Frewer is eating a big greasy cheeseburger and French fries, and Dabney Coleman like unrolls a lunch bag and takes out a yogurt and a banana. You know, whatever it is.
Plain white rice.
Yeah. Well, that's a carb.
True. Although we didn't care about carbs in 1990, we cared about fat in 1990. Snackwell cakes, baby.
He said, what does he say? There's no fiber in the donut, though. He does say
that's
that.
True.
So he would be like, there's no fiber in this white rice. It's brown rice.
It's right. It's brown rice. It's steamed brown rice.
But anyway, the like, it tries to set up this sort of like slobs v snobs thing with this guy, and I'm just like, this is so underbaked. Like, I don't know why this guy's a villain. I don't know what
this is. Just raw dough.
He's putting on a bomb suit, and I'm like, you can't do a hostage negotiation in a bomb suit. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah,
you can't.
That's the bomb suit's for a different job.
That negotiation would be like, sir, you have so much to live for. What?
Yeah, I think you have so much to live for.
What?
It would be Darth Helmet.
Boom. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, what is this? But it is very funny that like this guy's putting on this suit and he's like being helped out of the truck like a knight, like it's like in A Knight's Tale when they're trying to hoist Heath Ledger onto horseback. And here comes Dabney Coleman, boxer shorts, white t-shirt, and the high socks. The only thing missing was the sock garter.
The sock garters needed to be there.
Needed this ensemble, yeah. But he just strolls on in there, and he has like. To give this movie credit, like
a great monologue.
It's great. This scene is really good. Dabney Coleman plays this exceptionally well. The bad guy is good. All of the extras who are just like watching and taking this in and getting emotional, like listening.
Because like this scene could have
really beautiful.
This scene could have very easily been Kate's dad died on Christmas. Like it could have very 100%. Easily been this like maudlin schmaltzy bullshit that gets. I mean, no one talks about this movie, but like if people talked about this movie, it would be because of that stupid scene. But it is so good and it fits so well that like it as good as it is, it doesn't feel 100% earned.
Yes.
So
so that's the thing is like this is where the movie like fully does the turn where it's like, oh, we're doing like he's rediscovered that life is a joy and worth living, and he's like lived his life maybe not the right way in the past or however you would like to phrase it. He's rediscovered his joie de vivre, however it makes sense to you. But like that movie is different than the movie I thought I was getting, which was like hijinks and then, it was all a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I was not expecting.
Because this could have been a like, this concept could have easily been a like John Candy or Steve Martin vehicle.
100%. Yeah.
Even Mike Myers in it to a certain point in his career.
Yeah.
But like, it's like they were afraid to commit to that movie, and so they tried to like do both.
Yeah, exactly. And to be clear, like, I think the sentimental stuff plays better, which is weird because I was expecting the opposite to be true. And, Dabney Coleman's a good actor. It's not, it's not crazy that he performs it well. It's just that like based on the trailer for this and the, what my expectations, I was
and the
expecting
poster
a lot sillier. Yes.
The poster is full on Harry Crumb. Like, it's so slapstick.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a real case of like, you sold me one thing and then served me a different thing, which is like the thing you served me. I don't know that I think it's bad.
I ordered a cheeseburger and you brought me a steak, and it's like, they're both beef and they're both delicious, but like, in my head, I was expecting a cheeseburger.
Right. Or it's like, it's not even quite that egregious. It's like a chopped cheese where it's like, this is ostensibly a cheeseburger, but this form factor is not the thing I thought it was, where it's like, now I'm on a long roll. What am I doing with this?
That's fair. So
I did love that the exit of the scene, like just in terms of writing and pointing out things I liked, he like talks
the button on the scene is great.
The button, that's the word. Thank you. I couldn't bring up where the chief, who by the way is one of the generals from War Games. I don't think
he's done a bunch of stuff. I think he was also in Yellowstone.
Yeah, I think you're right. When
I clicked his Wikipedia, I was like, "You're also in Yellowstone."
And he's like, "Wait, Dabney Coleman, where's the bomb?" And then the whole front
grocery store
gets
explodes.
Blown out. It's fantastic. And then we cut to them getting.
But like again, like this movie feels like it wanted to then cut to all three men covered in the soot and like hair blown back, and like one of them takes off their glasses and there's they're behind that's clean. Like, that's what this should have done.
Because we do like a 50% of that joke where we cut to Dabney Coleman getting a medal and they all have little Band-Aids on their face from little...
his second commendation in like 5 days or whatever, and he's just like... So this is where the other hotshot detective is like, I'm going to be important in this movie. And it's like, no, you're not. Like,
yeah. Who cares?
And
Why are you here?
Dabney hits him with a locker and knocks him out. And it's like, well, that was the end of that character.
He truly gets Ubered out of the movie. Like, hey, buddy.
Ambulance out of that movie.
I'm going to take you to the hospital because you look like you're in trouble.
So he picks up his son and then goes to buy a red convertible. And I went, did he buy a midlife crisis mobile for his son? Like,
it sure seemed like it.
And they're like, they're lip syncing to a song that might have been popular at the time. Didn't survive the test of time, I don't think.
So, did you watch it on YouTube?
Yeah.
So, the version I watched on YouTube, the song had to be muted for copyright reasons. Was yours not muted?
No.
Okay, we must.
That's weird. No, you said I watched the one you sent me.
That's very strange because I meant to, so I ended up looking up the song and playing it out of curiosity, but the audio just like fully drops out for the duration of the song when I was watching.
That's weird that mine didn't do that.
Yeah. Did you watch it yesterday?
No, I watched it like an hour ago.
Oh, that's strange. Last night that scene had no audio.
Huh. I mean, are you on like a VPN or something?
No, I was watching it on my TV.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't make sense. Anyway, so I went and looked it up. It's a Stevie Ray Vaughan song. It's like a fun song. I don't think it was ever that popular. Guess.
It's another moment that I'm like, all right, I think we get it. We can move along. And so this is where he and his son have the great day. They buy the car, they go to the aquarium, whatever, and this is where I was just like, it's so supremely shitty that he's like, because he and Terri Gar having a glass of wine and clearly rekindling and like, we had such plans for this porch and blah blah blah, and like he puts the porch swing up for her and then leaves without saying it. It's just like, I don't like it gives me the ick to speak in the vernacular of the peasantry.
Yeah, it's like I understand why he's not doing it, because he's just like, I don't have time for these people to have to process this. Like, I need to get through what I'm trying to get through. But it's like it's just very self.
Or I think if he wasn't actively trying to repair these relationships, I would be far more forgiving. Like if he was just like writing a letter to his kid or to them or whatever, like sure. But the fact that he's also actively trying to like make these relationships new again, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah. Also, this is like very minor and is purely like a set decoration thing, but this little kid in his room has posters for the Dallas Cowboys, the Cincinnati Reds, and Ken Griffey, the Seattle Mariner. And I'm like, what is this kid's sports fandom? What is happening?
Well, Mariners is baseball, right?
Both the Reds and Mariners are baseball.
Oh, okay, so they're both baseball. That is strange.
Yeah. And it's like, this movie's set in Seattle. The Ken Griffey poster makes sense. What's going on with these other two?
Yeah, does Seattle have... Seattle has all the sports teams, right? It's a major city.
At this time, they had basketball. Any Seattle people listening who are NBA fans are going to be very unhappy with you. But
no, they won't because they know me by now.
The NBA stole the Supersonics from Seattle and put them in Oklahoma City.
Gotcha. Okay. Because like it's not like some because like I had a buddy that grew up like in Throw It Art, Pennsylvania, and he was like, we weren't really in Eagles country, we weren't really in Steelers country, so like I could he was like, we were kind of in Ravens country. He's like, in that general part. So he was like, so I didn't have an allegiance, I could pick whatever I wanted, and he's like, Toronto Blue Jays. He's like, I liked their colors, and so that's the team that I've been following my whole life, just because I didn't grow like. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I'll say go Birds. I'm currently wearing sweatpants that say go Birds and tush push on them. So like, it's more of a just like osmosis of culture because I will absorb and try and disappear sometimes. I'll say go Birds on a Sunday if I need to.
I mean, it's one of the, little bits of community that I have down here that I like a lot. It's like if someone sees my Eagles hat or I see an Eagles hat, I always say go Birds. And like my wife even does it occasionally too. Obviously, she's like not a fan of the sport really broadly or the Eagles specifically, but she will even occasionally say it. And I always, joke with the kiddo. I'm like, all right, you got to say it. But yeah, it's like, it's up there, it's a different thing. But down here, it's this like small little piece of community that I really like of like, give this little connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was like, I know this is just set decorating with posters that they had, but I did find it very funny that this kid's sports fandom is so wishy-washy.
Yeah, just go with movies. Movies are safer.
Yeah. Or just pick one homogenous set to like pick all the Seattle teams. Like
that's true.
If the movie's set in Seattle, get a Supersonics poster and a Ken Griffey poster and a Seahawks poster. It's not that hard. Also, Seattle has hockey now, but did not then. They're the Kraken.
Oh, that's a fun. Is there? They have a physical mascot?
Yes, but I couldn't describe it to you with a gun to my head.
I mean, I assume it's like a giant squid. I'll look it up, but I wanted to know if there's something worth looking up.
And we now have the Utah Mammoth in hockey.
Is that a two-person?
I have not seen the Mammoth.
I desperately want it to be two people, and they both are on roller skates.
It seems much more dangerous for it to be two people.
But I want it.
Any mascot.
I want it to be two people, and I want them both on roller skates. Or ice skates.
Ice skates.
Ice skates. That's what I meant. I meant ice skates. I was thinking Wheelie Mammoth from Bob's Burgers. No, I want them on ice skates. So he meets up with his partner, and he's like, clearly is a different person, and he's like, I want to take you to dinner. And then at dinner, he's like talking about clearly talking about like life ending, which these are red flags for anyone. And then he gives his partner his Mustang, and I was like, that wasn't for your kid?
Right.
I'm sure I think the kid thought it was for him at some point.
Yeah. And I do like that Matt Frewer is like, okay, what is going on with you? This is insane. You're behaving so strangely. And like, honestly, you would think, if your friends started doing this, and they hadn't told you about some terminal thing, you would think they were going to kill themselves. I would
100%. I'd be like, so we're hanging out tonight. We're going to spend the night together. We're going to have a sleepover.
Yeah.
Like no reason, but I think we should hang out tonight all night.
Yeah. Like in 1990, maybe that's not the thing. But now if someone would behave like this, I would think it was suicide.
But I think Matt Frewer thinks that. Like he thinks there's something up.
He knows something's wrong. Yeah. Also, I just want to point out, I guess lobster thermidor is the funniest fancy dish because it's the exact dish that they use on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when they take
the Pontiac Bandit?
Yes, when they put him
in the hotel.
They order lobster thermidor with extra thermidor.
I forgot about that. I know it's just an old dish because they eat it in WandaVision too.
Okay.
I assume it's like a like a Oysters Rockefeller type deal. but with
I
lobster.
think it's one of those things is like you take the lobster meat out and you doctor it up and you put it back in.
Yeah, you deviled egg the lobster.
Yeah. It seems kind of like ungopachka with lobster to me. One thing too many.
Okay, gotcha.
I also like that he does the classic, "Sir, your finest bottle of champagne," which, like, I guess was different in 1990 because if you did that at the right restaurant these days, it would be like a used car.
Yeah, who knows how much
Or
that's going to be.
a new car. Yeah.
Yeah, right? But then you do the Golden Girls trick where you put salt in it and you say, "This is disgusting. I'm not paying for this."
Somehow I think the sommelier would catch you.
The old Sicilian trick, as Sophia says. And so Bert goes to the hospital to terrorize what I thought were the two policemen.
That's funny.
Because Frewer says, "Oh, did you hear that hotshot detective, at least I thought it was the hotshot detective, got shot by a gunman or something." Something. So I thought that's what, and then I realized it's not that. He goes full like nutso, like they're in traction. He's like yanking on the strings and like pulling them all which ways.
Funny.
It's good.
It's a good bit. Yeah.
He gets to really do his normal wheelhouse of like shit heel stuff.
Yeah.
And as he's doing that and getting information on where the leader of the gun
Joey
plot
Pants.
that like
has had Berkeley, I guess.
Who has had again no anything in this movie.
Yeah.
He just showed up and we're supposed to give a shit and know who he is.
Right.
While that's happening, Matt Frewer is like goes to his doctor and he's like, "What is happening with Dabney Coleman?" And he tries to be like, and what's crazy is he said he's like, "This is against doctor-patient confidentiality because HIPAA didn't exist." But he says once he like rips like gets the folder and Frewer opens it, he's like, "I mean, he's dying. That's why I didn't say anything. I wasn't gonna say anything about the weed." And it's like, you didn't say that to Dabney Coleman, like, "Hey, I won't tell anyone about the weed you smoked because you're dying." Right. At which point Dabney would have been like, "I
don't smoke weed.
I don't smoke weed." Yeah, like that's whatever. It's a movie.
I also we cut to it here, which really drives it home. Is like the comedy of this movie with air quotes generated is like a man who went in for a routine drug test has a completely debilitating disease and is going to die in days.
A bus driver is going blind and dying and has no idea.
Yes. And the guy's like, "How do you what? You were like, didn't notice that he was going blind." And we do a Family Guy-esque cutaway to the
fully Family Guy
going blind and driving through a sign on the side of the road. And we're just like, wait, like this is played for laughs, but now we as an audience know this man is dying in 3 to 5 days.
Well, it's like if you think too long, Legally Blonde is the raucous comedy about a young woman murdering her father and going to jail forever. Like that is the end of Legally Blonde is Linda Cardellini killed her dad and is going to jail forever.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
So now Dabney is after the big bad, and Frewer.
Joey Pants.
No, not Joey Pants. You said it's the other one.
Oh, it is Xander Berkeley. Yeah, you're right.
And so Frewer is like, he's the chief is like, "I need to find Dabney Coleman," or blah blah blah, and he's like, "You got it, chief." And he goes into the room, and he's like, "Where's my partner?" So now they're all converging on the same spot.
Yeah. And it's actually both of them because it's the deal is going down here. Joey Pants is buying the weapons. Dabney comes running in, smashes into these crates. He like corners Joey Pants and is like, "Go for your gun. Go for your gun." And Joey Pants is like, "I'm not a fucking idiot. You'll shoot me."
And the one guy, I don't know who's the guy in the suit. Is he famous? Is he? That's not Joey Pants, is it?
Joey Pants is the one who is buying the guns and is sitting in the car, and Dabney Coleman's like, "Go for your gun."
Oh, that guy. But the guy who's like the wife.
Joe Pantoliano. He's on The Sopranos. You've seen him in presumably some of these YouTube shows.
I probably have, but I don't know.
Wig.
Is he in the snow at all? Is he in the snow sequence? Where someone.
I mean, are you talking about the scene where Paulie and Michael are chasing the Russian guy in the bear?
And then they get stranded in the snow, and they're like.
I don't believe
freezing.
Joey Pants is
it's
in
not
that
them.
Episode. I think it's just Paulie and Michael and that guy. Joe Pantoliano, have you seen The Matrix?
1,000 years ago. I keep wanting to rewatch it.
He's the one who does the double cross, then this like he eats the steak.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And then more importantly, a movie I know you know and love. He is the evil promoter in Ready to Rumble, who double crosses Jimmy King, played by the legend Oliver Platt.
Yeah, I had a lobotomy to remove that movie from my brain. At home lobotomy. I grabbed an ice pick and a hammer, and I said, well, I'll just wiggle until I don't remember that movie anymore.
Might fire it up tonight when we get off here.
Ugh. But so the guy in the suit is like a terrible shot. Yes. He's like from the stormtrooper school of marksmanship.
It's really quite ridiculous. It's the second time in this movie someone has like a unbroken line of sight shot of Dabney Coleman within 25 feet and absolutely cannot hit him.
And I'm like, again, I haven't fired a gun, but I have to imagine that like an automatic or whatever this fucking thing is weapon, you got a better shot of hitting stuff.
It is harder than you think, but I would not say it's that this level of incompetence makes any sense.
Yeah. So Dabney chases the guy up the building with his plot armor.
This has a couple of fun sequences. The one where Xander Berkeley shoots at him and misses, and then throws the empty gun at him is.
I like
funny.
that. I like throwing a gun.
And then the follow up. It's very Austin Powers. And then the follow up of like. He throws the grenade and Dabney Coleman tries to like literally sit on it and can't catch it and drops it down. And then we cut to a great shot of a model getting blown up. It was really fun.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of, I was talking to my friend about this. Fiona Dourif is in, I think it's Fiona Dourif. Yeah. Is in the show Dirk Gently's Holistic Detectives Agency.
Okay.
And her character, it's not that she's immortal. It's that the universe won't let her die. So people will be like firing a gun and then turn it to her and pull the trigger and she's like click, 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 and then it'll turn and aim it at someone else and it will fire. Like the universe won't let her die. So that's what it feels like is that this grenade, because the guy pulls the ring and waits the couple seconds and then throws it, which is what all you hear in movies. But this grenade doesn't go off for like, I don't know, 2 minutes after that.
I think we're in slow-mo.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they get to the top of the building and they jump in the window. Xander Berkeley jumps in like the window washers thing to try to escape. And I couldn't stop thinking about. I just recently watched a movie with the actress who played Rey in the Star Wars movies, where she is a like former military person who kind of like has bounced around jobs and has a job as a window washer, and then there's like a Die Hard situation, and she
that's fun.
The John McClane. Yeah, you would think so. And like here's the part that's truly brutal about it. The movie starts with the bad guy being Clive Owen, and he's like an eco-terrorist, and the building they're taking over is like a event with some like oil company or something, and they're like, you guys have killed all these animals or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, cool. Clive Owen twirling a mustache. Great casting. This is great. And then 15 minutes into the movie, mega spoilers, this dude like steps up, tells Clive Owen he's like not dedicated enough, and shoots Clive Owen in the forehead. And then the bad guy of the movie is this Jamoke who I've never seen in anything before and is like mostly a low-level British TV actor. And I'm just like, you had Clive Owen. You had the guy.
I mean, maybe they could only afford a day of Clive Owen.
Then film 8 hours straight of Clive Owen doing speeches and twirling his mustache and cut the movie around it. Just keep cutting back to Clive Owen giving a monologue. Like, what are you thinking?
That is strange.
They're having like a fight on
the window thing. And this is also, I was like, what kind of self-respecting, high-profile criminal brings one gun?
Right.
You're in arms dealing. You have one gun.
You don't have an ankle pistol?
Yeah. Like you should be a spy at an airport, or like Wednesday Addams going through the TSA of just like open your jacket. You got the two under each arm. You got one in each pocket. You got the back pocket. You got the ankle. You got everything.
Yeah. Loaded for bear, baby.
Or even extra magazines, like something.
Sure.
Because Dabney Coleman, is up on a roof looking over the edge because the guy's gone down a few floors, and Dabney Coleman like jams the wheel, lowering him, And he's like, you can come up here and kill me, or I can come down there and send us both over the edge. What do you want? And the guy starts trying to kick the window open. And I was like, I don't, unless you're Steve Rogers, like you're not kicking the plate glass window in on a building.
Bruce Willis like shoot it and then fly through it.
Yes. That's why I was like, where is his other gun to be like, boo, 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 boo. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So he jumped. So Dabney Coleman like Indiana Jones down to the window washing rig or whatever, and the suitcase, the briefcase full of money flies open, and we get money rain, which like
money rain always fun.
Love money rain, but like, can you imagine being in a city, not knowing that there's like high drama above you?
Yes.
And all of a sudden it's like 20s and 100s.
Yeah, just fluttering down.
I'm just grabbing and walking away at that point.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Of course. Yeah.
What are they gonna do? There's no cops around.
I mean, I have a very simple policy, and that is, if I find money loose on the ground, I look around to see if someone appears to be looking for the money, and if I don't see that person, I put it in my pocket and move on with my day.
I think that's fair. And so Matt Frewer shows up on a helicopter and tries to like do the cup his hands yell.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then he immediately grabs a megaphone. I was like, "Okay, thank God."
Yeah.
To say, "Hey, you're not gonna die, Dabney Coleman."
Also, the Xander, so like that happens, he like slips, he's dangling, Xander Berkeley's trying to stomp on his feet like a video game, and Matt Frewer says to the pilot, like, shoot him, and I'm like, well, doesn't the pilot need to like fly the helicopter? Shouldn't you be shooting him? And then it's a pure Naked Gun joke.
Yes.
The helicopter pilot picks up a camera and starts taking pictures, and I think and saying this joke out loud and like preparing to say this joke a minute ago in my head, I was like, oh, that's why you don't like this, because you guys just watched The Naked Gun, which is like the funniest cop movie ever made. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this doesn't compare because it's not the funniest cop movie ever.
And like, I don't think this needs to be at that level.
No.
Certainly not that level, but like a little, you can flirt with that.
Yeah.
We get some S-tier dummy work when the bad guy falls.
The only quibble I have is that we don't see it hit the ground and do like a puff of smoke. Yeah.
That would have been great.
I don't want it to be like a blood shower, but a puff of smoke would have been good.
Yeah. It was fully like a Disney Channel dummy drop.
Yeah.
And so, but they're
I
like,
always think of the movie Deliverance. There's like a sequence where Burt Reynolds was like really aggressively wanting to do this very dangerous stunt in the water. Mm-hmm. And the director and he fought over it, and they like they did it with a dummy, and Burt was like, no, I need to do this, and it was like the boat capsizes and he gets thrown out of it and stuff, and they do the stunt with Burt Reynolds, and he gets thrown out of the boat and he hits his head, he gets this concussion, he's like quite badly injured, I think he hurt his arm too.
Jesus.
He like is in the hospital, and the director comes to see him, and Burt Reynolds is like, how did it look? And the director's like a fucking dummy falling out of a boat.
That's like, I just learned that Melissa McCarthy, while filming Spy, hurt herself at the hotel. She was like, I was doing stunts like sore. She was like, I'm going to get my day off, I'm going to go get a massage. So I'm ready to go. We're going to go. Walk in the fully marble pool area, which is a bad idea. Wave to Kevin Feige, slip, and go right on my back, legs up in a V. In full view of Kevin Feige, who goes, I'm in a bathing suit. I feel weird helping you. Wild.
Did Kevin Feige produce Spy?
He wrote that movie.
He wrote?
No, not Kevin Feige. Not Kevin Feige. Yeah, Paul Feig. I'm so sorry. Paul Feig. That's what I meant. I meant Paul Feig.
The Marvel guy?
Sorry. Paul Feig.
Paul Feig probably directed that movie, is my guess.
Yeah, he wrote and directed.
Okay.
A funny Paul Feig moment, if I'll just tangent for a second. One of my favorite drag queens, Trixie Mattel, has a habit of like knowing, like saying weird stuff to celebrities unintentionally. And she was like, yeah, I've been watching a lot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like the 90s one. And Paul Feig is in that show. He's the teacher in the first season. And she was like, and I was backstage at an event and he was there. And I was like, we're both here. So she went up to him and she goes, I just have to tell you, I'm sure you hear this all the time. I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And Paul Feig was like, okay, great. And she's like, I'm sure everyone tells you that. And he was like, usually it's Bridesmaids. And she was so like not in the everything went, "Oh, did you work on Bridesmaids too? Like, were you in Bridesmaids too?" And he was like, "Oh no, I wrote and directed and produced it." And she was just like, "I'm gonna go over there."
So I feel like maybe this is only me. I always have the fantasy with Famos that you're like gonna name the thing that they are like secretly proud of, and then they're like, "Oh, this person is cool." Like,
yeah, of
like
course.
You're. It's like you don't want to be like, "Oh, I know you from the big famous thing." It's like I really like.
I know you from that indie movie you did before you were big.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like the one example I always use, which will never happen, of course, but like I would love to run into Alec Baldwin and sincerely tell him that my favorite thing I've ever seen him in, which like, you know, whatever people say shit about Alec Baldwin in all number of ways, I think Alec Baldwin's been in some really great stuff. But the thing I think about the most is him playing Leonardo in the Clerks cartoon.
Oh yeah,
a truly hilarious performance. It was a 6-episode TV show nobody saw, and you can only watch
it's not even streaming anywhere, I don't think.
No, I was going to say, I think the only way to watch it is on DVD, but I think it's genuinely hysterical. I probably have quoted it back and forth with you as much as any other
with
thing
its own tiny selection of adult magazines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is like a truly impeccably great comedy performance, and it would be not like, it'd be no bullshit. Like the whole premium would be like, I know this is going to sound like a bit, but like, I think this is so genuinely hilarious, and it has brought me so much joy, and I'm very grateful for it. Like, I really love this little performance you did as Leonardo. And it's like, odds are he's going to be like, what? But like, but like the dream scenario is he's like, oh my God, that was so funny and so fun, and no one ever saw it. What a bummer, you know? And then we have like a little moment of like, no one's ever said that to me, or no one ever says that to me, or hardly anyone says it to me, or whatever. And it's like, that's the dream, is like you nail it with a thing that is genuinely near and dear to your heart, but is like just weird.
Yeah, the B side.
Yeah, or lower, perhaps.
Yeah.
So it looks like Dabney Coleman falls off this thing, and you're just
so
like,
what bothered me, he kept being like, Frewer kept being like, hold on, Dabney, and I'm like, aren't you in a fucking helicopter? Like, can't you go helicopter over this thing and drop like one of those like padded, like this is a police chopper. It's got to have this stuff on it.
Isn't there a fucking rope under the seat?
Yes,
throw it to him. Yeah,
and obviously Dabney death fake out.
Right. And it's like, oh, we cut to a funeral. It's like, this isn't Dabney's funeral. I did not expect it to be the bus driver's funeral. I was crazy.
Got truly, honestly, appreciated that. I appreciated that this movie went back and like closed the loop on this man who died.
Yes.
Like, and we acknowledge it. We're like, hey, this man maybe, he even says to his son, like, this man gave me my life back. Like,
yes.
We pay actual respect to this man.
It's a nice moment. I just wish that they had that conversation walking up to the gravesite and not mid eulogy.
Yeah, fair.
But yes, I agree.
Also, it's such a movie thing to like have the eulogy at the grave. It's like, weren't you all in a different place?
Right.
A couple miles up the road, like.
Right.
Presumably you didn't all just show up here.
Right. I think you can do it that way. I have not been to that many funerals. I've never been to one that did it that way, but I think you can.
That's the one I want. I want the dramatic movie one. Everyone gets a black parasol umbrella for the rain.
I don't want. My problem is like I don't want the whole rigmarole. I want to be cremated and spread somewhere pretty. I don't want to be in a box somewhere. You know.
I want a headstones of people who know me have like somewhere to go. But I want
you to like go on a hike, not the royal you. Like go on a hike in Glacier, and they're like, well, that's where we scattered trip. It was over by that tree. You know.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's my headstone. So. I think so. Final thoughts here. Obviously,
the photo bit. Like, there's the photo button at the end.
Oh, the photo bit is kind of funny.
I enjoyed that. I was like, this is stupid. It's dipping into the Naked Gun moment, but you know.
And then there is also a funny bit with Matt Frewer where he's like busting his chops. He's like, "This is my car. You gave it to me. I don't know what you're talking about. This is my car."
Yeah,
which I like that bit.
It also means we've glossed over the part where because his wife, his now dated girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
is like, you gave him that car, and he goes, "Yeah, I thought I was dying," and it's like, we are at the joking part of this, because let's be, we're not joking. We're gonna be in Angryville for a few months. As you get on your knees and beg and give penance for the bullshit that you were going to do to me.
Right.
And then I'll think about maybe joking. And when I do, I joke. You don't joke. Forever.
Right. Yeah, it is very inexplicable that they're just immediately like, ha ha ha, remember when you did this crazy thing because you thought you were dying?
Remember when you weren't going to tell me you were dying, but you fucked me anyways? Ha ha ha. Yeah.
And then they drive off, and then there's like a big police chase, and there's a moment of like, oh, are we going to join it? And Dabney Coleman's like, no, I'm retired.
He joins in for a second and then realizes that he is retired and has his family in the car.
Yeah, yeah. This is like the exact definition of a movie that's like, fine. I'm sure this was on cable a million times. I think Joe Lynch.
I feel like it wouldn't have been.
I bet that it was, but it just like not like before we were in sight of it. Because like you got to think like, this is probably in the heavy rotation on the cable channels in like 92 to 96. That's not really our peak time for finding a weird little movie.
No, that's fair. But I would think the farther away you get, like to the year like Y2K, you might be, but like 10 years, you're gonna like movie is, costs a buffalo nickel to put on TV.
Yeah, yeah. But I think this concept has legs. Like I think you could do a very funny version of this movie tomorrow with the right cast. I think this could be like a very fun movie that people really like. I think the premise is, it's the last holiday, but with a cop. But I do think it needs to be sillier, and that's the part.
Well, I think it's what really separates it from Last Holiday for me is that the main character wants to die. It's not like. I think we need to lean into the I want to die and then accidentally learn that life is worth living. Like there's fun in life. Whereas like The Last Holiday is just learning how to live, how to like be alive again is your last hurrah.
Well, the other, it's like they play with the same thing of like Queen Latifah is like boring and her life is small and whatever. And she's like, oh, I have to live bigger. And so like, there's a world in which Dabney Coleman doing all these risky things is what leads him to the epiphany of like, I was leading my life wrong, but it doesn't really line that up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think this movie should have. That's the needle this movie should have threaded. Whereas like, she's not trying to kill herself when she skis in Last Holiday. She's just, bad at skiing.
Yeah. Doesn't she base jump in that movie?
She also does base jump in a squirrel suit. Yes.
Okay. Oh, squirrel suit. That's what it is.
The flying squirrel suits.
My wife and I watched that movie at some point.
It's it's a perfectly fine plane movie.
It's fine. It is. Airplane movie is a perfectly.
It's a fun plane movie. You're not gonna cry. And
it is a unit. It is a unit of entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like this is probably like a 3 out of 5 for me if I was letterboxing it. It might be a 3.5. I think Dabney Coleman's very good in it, and it's kind of fun to see a guy who's not normally a lead get to do a lead thing, like a guy who's normally a third or fourth guy be a lead.
Well, honestly, it's nice to see someone who plays like hateable heels.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I think he's doing shitty things, but like we're not supposed to think that. It's nice to see him like be kind of a good guy.
Right. Yeah, I think he's very charming in this movie. I think he's very affable in general. So it's just like kind of a bummer that it's not. It's like neither fish nor fowl is the problem here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, it's the lightest of recommends for me.
It's super easily available, so it's hard. I'm not going to be like.
Yeah, it's just on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to us here. We're going to be trying to stick with the 1 a month thing on the main feed. I think we're going to a new schedule on the Patreon of quarterly. We haven't really hashed that out yet, but we're going to post very soon for our Patreon folks to let them know. But keep an eye over there and get the bonus episodes at patreon.com/dissectingthe80s. Tons of bonus content available right now. If you go over there and sign up at the $5 tier, you get all that good stuff. So go check that out. Patreon.com/dissectingthe80s. Thank you so very much for listening to the show. I have been Trip Leno.
I will always be Andrew Leno.
Until next time.
Don't you forget about me.
Dissecting the 80s is a Chum Some of This production.